Hello everyone, this is The World of Shoes by Pujan Tewari. The workshop details everything you need to know about shoes. Shoemaking, shoe companies, shoe reselling, shoe authentication, and the shoe business. The course length will be 6 sessions. The prerequisites are a pencil or pen, paper, a computer to access the Zoom, and the ability to make accounts with, of course, parental consent, which will give you access to sites like StockX, Grailed, Goat, etc., which I'll explain later on. The course type will be pre-recorded sessions and Zoom sessions. So the course description and goals. This course will show you how shoes are made and what they're made of. It'll show the big shoe companies, their net worths, and the important people in these companies. It'll show you how to buy the shoe and sell it for a profit, which websites to use, the cost of it, and the time frame. It'll also give you a basic understanding of how to check if your shoes are fake or real, and how to set up your sneaker page, connections, and how to grow your business. About me, my name is Pujan Tewari. I am a junior at James Logan High School. I have a large interest in shoes. I've done a lot of research about it. My interest started about a year ago, and I've learned so much in just 1 year, and I'd like to share my knowledge with others. I've participated in shoe drops, helped my friends set up shoe businesses, and more. This is about Design Your Careers, which is the organization. DYC is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that strives to showcase everyone's talents or skills by running various free workshops. This is how to become a student leader. This is the student leader benefits. We ensure that the activities at DYC will be practical, fun, and informative. Lesson 1. What is the purpose of a shoe? The shoe is a footwear item whose purpose is to protect and comfort your foot. It is used for fashion and can also represent culture. Now, how are shoes made? A shoe is made by a thorough process that includes cutting the material, taking measurements, sewing, attaching the parts together, and being checked by quality-controlled operators. Lesson 2. What is significant about a shoe company? Each shoe company has their own shoe. It can represent the culture behind it or even a person. Now, why are the connections in the shoe company so important? Shoes mainly become popular by who wears them or who the shoe represents. Athletes are the main connection in a shoe company. Lesson 3. Why is shoe reselling so popular? Shoe reselling is very accessible and can be very time efficient depending on how invested you are into it. Lots of students do shoe reselling instead of getting a regular job simply because of the time efficiency. And you can work on shoe reselling whenever you want. This means flexible hours. What do I need to know to start shoe reselling? You need to understand many things, but firstly, the market as well as supply and demand. Lesson 4. If a company authorizes the shoe, is it real? Now, not necessarily. You should always inspect the shoes yourself. Sometimes companies will authorize a fake shoe by accident, which happens more often than you'd think. For example, StockX guarantees authenticity, but sadly, a lot of their shoes are fakes or unauthorized. Now, how do I find out if a shoe is fake or real? Sometimes there are factory stamps on the shoes, which means that it's fake, and additionally, the material can feel off or the stitching could look different compared to how the real shoe looks. Lesson 5. Why is having a shoe business important? By having your own shoe business, when you sell your shoe, you wouldn't have to be taxed. Of course, this depends on what type of app you use, what type of platform you use to sell your shoes, whether it's Instagram, which is free, Facebook Marketplace, which is also free. but things such as eBay would take some of your money. How can I grow my shoe business? If you have social media accounts, you should post your business on your story in an effort to gain more followers. You could also ask some of your close friends to post it on their story. Some shoe terms are that drop day, the day when the shoe is released for the retail price. Retail, this is the price when the shoes are first released. Credible is trustworthy. Authentic is real. UA is a common term. It stands for unauthorized. In other words, fake. Bricks are shoes that usually aren't profitable. Local meetups are a way to meet buyer or the seller of shoes nearby. Shoemaking. Firstly, the shoe has to be designed. This could take countless hours of brainstorming just to get that perfect design. Secondly, the shoe has to be developed in order to become a functioning shoe. Next, the material for the shoe must be ordered. Then the shoe materials will be prepared through a complex process of cutting, printing, and laminating. Afterwards, the materials are carefully sewn together. The next step in the process is to last the uppers. Shoe lasting is the process when you pull the uppers over a form, the last, that allows it to stretch and take the shape of a real shoe. After the uppers, the outsole would be assembled. Finally, the shoes would be packed, ready to be bought. Now onto shoe companies. There are extremely large shoe companies that have crazy net worths. To become those companies that they are today, they had to have a connection with some very important people. Some of these large shoe companies are well known worldwide. They include Nike, Adidas, New Balance, and Skechers. Now, I'll be telling you about some of the net worths of some of the most well known brands in the top 10 largest shoe companies. Nike's net worth is $34.8 billion in 2020. Adidas's net worth is $16.4 billion in 2020. New Balance's net worth is $3.3 billion in 2020. And Skechers' net worth was $5.2 billion in 2019. Shoe companies. These shoe companies owe a large portion of their success to the connections they've had and the people they represent. For example, these celebrities are extremely well known and therefore have a lot of influence on their fans. Signing these celebrities to partner with their own respective brands to major is a major win and an excellent business strategy. Another example would be LeBron James is one of the main athletes in Nike. Lionel Messi is the most popular athlete of Adidas. Kawhi Leonard is the face of New Balance, and Christina Aguilera is one of the biggest celebrities representing Skechers. Now onto shoe reselling. Number one, buying the shoe on drop day and selling it later for a profit. You have to be fast to get the shoe because if you aren't fast, you probably won't get the shoe, especially on drop day, because there's so many other people trying to get these. Now, the first thing you need to do is research. What type of shoes are most likely to rise in price, and this is based on the popularity. For example, some shoes are definitely more popular than others and are more costly. Additionally, the sizes in shoes can make a large price difference. You need to be able to read the market, as well as understand supply and demand. The second thing you need to do is understand the cost of buying these shoes. They are costly, and you need to have permission from your parents that you are allowed to buy the shoe. Again, some shoes aren't always going to make you a profit, but you have to learn from it and keep trying. There is a bit of risk involved, but as they say, practice makes perfect. The third thing you'll need to do is create an account for credible shoe sites. This definitely requires parental permission. I would recommend StockX, Goat, and my personal favorite, Sneakers. The fourth thing you need to do is decide what shoes you want to buy. And this is based off the first step. The fifth thing you need to do is know what date and time the shoes of your choice are released, and this information can be found on the shoe site that you want to use. The sixth thing you need to do is wake up on drop day and log into your account on the shoe site of your choice. As soon as the shoe you want is released, choose what size you want and buy it quickly. The most important thing you need to do is that you have to be ready to learn from your mistakes. As a sneaker reseller, I can confidently say that there are a couple bumps in the road. Now onto shoe restoration. Buying a used shoe and then cleaning it up so you can resell them. This is another form of reselling shoes, but it requires a little more hands-on work. The first step for shoe restoration is very similar to shoe reselling. You need to research what type of shoes are most popular. This is where the term supply and demand can also be applied. Once you target your specific shoe, you should make accounts for apps like Grailed and Depop where you can resell them. Additionally, Instagram has a lot of small reselling accounts that you can buy from, and Facebook has Facebook Marketplace, which is a huge market. You can make a Grailed, Depop, Facebook, or Instagram account for this purpose. Of course, you'll need the parental permission. After making accounts in certain apps, use a filter to make your search more accurate. For example, if you're buying, you should use a filter which could be Jordan 1 Obsidian, for sale, size 7, etc. In order to find out if you came across a good deal or not, look at the prices of other used shoes, but make sure it's the same model you want to buy. This will give you a more accurate um, price range of where you can find out if it's a good deal or not. Some important information to know is that after shoes are used, the price dramatically lowers. The worse condition the shoes are in, the less the price is. Make sure the shoes are authentic and not UA, unauthorized. Ask the seller where they bought the shoe from and if they have the receipt. Even if it's from a credible company, ask for more pictures to verify them yourself. Ask for pictures based on what you can verify. For example, if you know how to check if it's real based on the toe box, ask for pictures of the toe box. If you need to verify a certain type of shoes that you're unfamiliar with, I suggest looking up uh, a YouTube tutorial on how to verify those types of shoes, as they contain some useful information. So after you've verified the shoes and are sure they are real, purchase the shoes. Of course, you need the parental permission for this step too. I would recommend that you don't buy any shoes that have major scuff marks or heavy damage, because oftentimes it's really difficult to repair them if they're that far gone. And some ways to properly clean the shoe can be using a brush and some soap. You can also make a mixture to turn the laces white again if the laces happen to be yellow. If and additionally, if the sole of your shoe is yellow, you can use an ice box to turn the sole from yellow to white. You can find out how to do that on a YouTube tutorial. That's how I learned how to do it, so I definitely suggest that. Now, shoe authentication. Number one, verifying whether your shoes are real or not. Okay, so firstly, I'll let you know about one of the most popular ways to verify whether your shoe is real or not. The UV light is a relatively cheap item that you can buy from Amazon. This can determine if you are going to make or lose money because fakes are sold for a lot less and real authentic sneakers are sold for way more. If you turn on the UV light on a fake shoe, you can see the messy pattern marks, random markings, and lots of glue marks. So in conclusion, the unauthorized shoes tend to be messier if you shine the black light on it. Blacklight is another name for the UV light. On a real shoe, the stitching marks should be clean and precise. Additionally, you can use the UV light to find out whether shoes are real or not by using the shoebox. You should go around the entire shoebox with your UV light to look for any factory stamps. If you find one, it could definitely be fake. Look for factory stamps, especially on the labels. Another thing is that if you buy a StockX shoe, they come with a tag. And if you use the UV light, they should have the X logo on the back of that tag. The UV light also works better in a dark room or surrounding. For many other shoes, there are other protocols that can be used. I have a helpful link that can give you more insight on this. And I provided you a YouTube video to watch. This is a pretty thorough video which is meant only for Jordan 1s. It's a little intro to the vast authentication process. And there's similar ways to verify other types of sneakers. And of course, you can find these videos most likely on YouTube. Now, onto the shoe business. Creating a shoe business so you can flip your sneakers and make a profit without having to deal with any taxes. Firstly, you would make an account on a social media app with parental consent. I recommend Instagram and Facebook Marketplace. By using the two apps, you wouldn't have to pay any taxes. Taxes are a deduction in your profit. Next, you would shout out the new business page on your personal account. After that, you should ask your close family and friends to spread the word, either by shouting out your business account or by reposting the business account's post. The last step in order to grow your business is to ask other shoe reselling pages if they can do a shout out for shout out. The idea behind this is that both pages would gain more followers and therefore it's a win-win situation. Next is to post the shoes that you are willing to sell fairly often. You want to interact and communicate with your followers as much as possible. If they see that you are active, they'll be more interested in your page. One thing that is very helpful to post is a reference page, so people know that you are a good seller and a trustworthy page. People who bought shoes from you are the best to leave a positive comment on your reference post. Now, a really good tip is to make a post about your policies. For example, a policy could include if the buyer is allowed to return the shoes and get a full refund if they aren't satisfied with it. Another policy could be that shipping is $10 or local meetups are free. It all varies. Just one more tip is that to be willing to negotiate sometimes is the best option. If you could sell a shoe for $10 to $15 less, then you could get it on a different website. It isn't the end of the world, and you could actually be potentially getting a loyal customer, which is much more valuable. Now, lastly, is to be friendly and kind to your customers. You want them to feel good about buying something from you. Additionally, if they like how you treat them, there's a larger chance that they'll buy from you again. Also, be creative. It's your business page, so maybe you can make your own logo for your profile picture. Here's some information about DYC. It's a one-stop platform for all kinds of volunteering and innovation. One of the main benefits is that the organization offers sharing opportunities through 4 different programs, including being a learner, a student leader, mentor, or volunteer. These are my sources. It's the Q&A. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching. For details, visit www.designyourcareers.org or send an email to info@designyourcareers.org. Subscribe to our channel, Design Your Careers, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss a video.